Phoenix has a program called RPBI, Residential Permit by Inspection, and if it's 1,000 square feet or less, you could apply for this and you could get a permit the same day that your drawings are completed. Now there's other stipulations or other regulations behind that. So go to the city of Phoenix, you could call them, or you could look up RPBI requirements, but that's a big number because that 1,000 square feet also marks a difference between whether or not you're going to need what's called a grading and drainage plan versus not requiring a grading and drainage plan. So that number is pretty significant when you're looking to build an ADU on a property.
Good to know.
Yeah.
All right. So as you came into the office today, so we have an off-market deal that we're kind of looking at. I don't know how deep Dominique and you guys were talking, but there's a pre-existing, it's a casita, but it's not permitted. So in Phoenix, that's probably very common, right? Or let's just talk about that subject. You're going into a property with an existing structure that's maybe used as a casita, or maybe it could be a pool house. It's a pool house or something. I don't know, but what's the process of turning those into a casita?
So you would start probably when it was built, and since it's considered it's a casita if it had like the cooking facilities is the main thing that how Phoenix used to distinguish between a pool house like you're talking about versus a guest house, and they didn't allow guest house in certain areas. So one is that, and then the property you were talking about, I don't know tons about it, but I do know it was built all the way to the property line.
Mm-hmm.
So that's allowable for ADUs sometimes if there's a dedicated alley behind there.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that you just need to, it could be legal now if there's a dedicated alley behind there.
Interesting.
And that's from a zoning perspective. And it's important to just note that there's zoning and there's building codes, or site planning versus building safety. So those are always the two things you're getting approved, even when you get into larger projects. It's always kind of the two main departments or main approvals. So from the site plan perspective, it could be converted if it's backing an alley. From the building perspective, you're going to have to prove that the foundations are good, the roof drains properly, the installation standards, those kind of things are going to come into play. Electrical's done properly.
Mm-hmm.
So all the building safety stuff will still come in. I would say in that case, get a city inspector out there as soon as possible and see what they're going to ask you to do.
All right.
And sometimes they'll say, yeah, if you do this, this, and this, I would approve it.
Is it hard to get someone out there? Does it take time, or what are some time frames you think? Are they pretty fast?
Getting an inspection is actually pretty fast most of the time.
Okay.
The problem is usually you call for an inspection when there's an actual permit open. So it would be depending on the situation.
Got it.
So you call, be like, this is what I want to do. Can you please get out here? I'm thinking of buying this property, but I really want to know what I'd have to do to make it legal. Can someone come out? And then go that way, yeah.
Awesome, man.